You see this, party animals? This is what's called perforated car leather. But the reality is this is not car leather at all. This is simply vinyl, and it has perfs or perforations in it, which means little tiny holes. The problem becomes when you try to clean this, people, well, a couple things. One, people go into freak out mode because they think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot some cleaner onto the perforations, and now it's going to sink down into those holes and it's going to damage the components, or it's going to mildew, or something horrid is going to happen. Well, this is where you do need to apply a little common sense. For one, not all perforations are created equal. What I want to show you is some tricks and tips that I use to clean perforated car leather or perforated seating. First off, you need to verify the best you can to see if those little holes do in fact go all the way through. Now, I accept that there's many cars that have heating elements, and even the high-end luxury or some of the exotics have ventilation, as in cold air will come also through, rather than heating elements that will simply heat the seat up in wintertime. I get the fear. The fear is real. It is significant, but this is just where you apply a little common sense. So what happens is you clean a seat in the traditional way. You spray your choice in cleaner in it. Maybe you just simply wipe it up, or you spray. You scrub with your choice of scrub brush. You mop it up. And what happens is that as that liquid that you used begins to dry, and you may have some debris that's embedded into those little perfs. And as that dries, you'll see like, oh my gosh, I've got this white schmang, or maybe spilled milk, or maybe your coffee latte, whatever, and now it's showing up in those perfs and you want to clean it. Well, this is where I use what's called a gum stimulator. It's meant for oral hygiene. You use it to get the gunk added between your gums and your teeth. It's got this very basically sharp, but it's rubber. So you can insert this little rubber nib, this rubber tip inside those perforations, and it can help dig out the debris, that material that you want removed out of the perforations. Or you have this cool little tool called an interdental brush. Now just know these are not all created equal. For example, this one is made of a metal shaft that could possibly be damaging to your car leather or your vinyl seating. You do not want that done. But it's got these little bristles on it that make it perfect for honing out the individual perforations. Now, I know if you had this massive spill, it would be unrealistic to go in and think that you're going to clean every individual little perforation. But in my detailing travels, often I find that there's an area of the car, of the seat, that is kind of confined to a tight area, and I need to clean some individual perforations. They make versions of this that are all rubber, and that's even safer, but like everything in life, it's got its trade-offs. So this is very specific. You can feed this into each individual hole very precisely. It's more rigid than the rubber ones, but also has a very sharp point, so you have to accept the risks associated with this versus virtually no risk associated with this. Because what will happen is you may sit here and try to prod and push your way to success with this rubberized gum stimulator, but it's just not enough to actually hone out and douche out those individual holes that you can get with this. So with that said is you spray, you decide what tool you're going to use, you hone it out, you douche it out, whatever works for you, but you need to make sure that this dries completely, because what will happen is you think you have success because when you introduce some liquid into the equation, it naturally darkens up and you will not be able to see if it is now gone or it's just become dark and now it blends and it looks like a hole. But as it dries, now it reveals that, oh my gosh, there's still some grime in there. How do I get that out? Well, this is one of Daren's tricks, is I borrowed something from a completely different industry called the oral hygiene industry. Okay, hope you learned something. With that said, give it a thumbs up, or Better yet, tell me how you deal with perforations and cleaning them yourself. Do you go into freak out mode? What are the horror stories? Everyone's got a horror story, so by all means share that. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, but more importantly, tell me your stories, tell me your thoughts regarding cleaning car seat perforations. With that said, we'll see you on the next video.